I don't know if you've got hobbies that you can just get lost in. Like when you do them, it seems like nothing in the world is even happening anymore. You are in the zone and just loving this thing so much. It might even be your work. So for me, computer programming is like that. I'm a computer programmer, and I can get so lost in programming that I forget what's happening in the whole world around me. In fact, this has some really practical outworkings, because one day I was in the kitchen working, programming up a storm and just getting lost. And then I hear a knock at the door, and Kylie comes in and goes, "What is going on?" And I look up, and the whole house is filled with black smoke. So I've left a colander, one of those plastic colanders, on the hot plates, and the plastic has been melting and filling the house with black smoke. I don't know how the fire alarm didn't go off, but anyway, that was just a real wake-up call to, you can get lost in things. And sometimes we get lost in thoughts that are intrusive and disruptive. Unlike welcome hobbies, these thoughts can be really unwelcome, but they seem to want to just keep filling the whole of our mind. It might be a worry about an upcoming meeting or an upcoming assignment or exam or a work thing or a relationship, whatever it might be, but that worry just fills our whole mind and wants to conquer all of our thinking. Well, that's what I want to talk about today, which is just these intrusive thoughts or coping with this kind of doom sort of scenarios that try and fill our mind. So first of all, I think the most important thing to learn about these kind of intrusive thoughts is, wrestling them to the ground is not going to help. Like our natural response to it is, it's like, this is an unwelcome thought. It says things aren't going to work out for me. I'm going to wrestle that thought to the ground and never have that thought again, and try and suppress it to think that might be how we take the thought captive. But in fact, it doesn't work like that. Much better strategy is to simply release the thought, just notice it and let it go. And this is we actually are taking the thought captive by taming it. Instead of trying to destroy it, we're domesticating it. And we talked a little bit about this in one of our earlier episodes. Now, some people like to use different analogies for this. They just like to say, well, our thoughts are like clouds coming across the mind of the sky of our mind, or they might be like traffic that's moving across, like cars that are dragging the road of our mind. But my wife's got this really good one that she uses with some of her clients, where she says, like, I want you to think about that thought that comes across your mind, and then I want you to take that thought and I want you to put it on a leaf, and I want you to just let it float down the river. And that is a way of just noticing the thought, not wrestling it, not trying to destroy it, but just noticing it and then surrendering the thought so that it leaves our life as quickly as it had come. Now, from a faith perspective, we can surrender those thoughts to God through just a 1-second prayer. We can, maybe if we're worried about an exam, so when that thought keeps coming back, you're going to do poorly on the exam, you can do poorly on the exam. We can just notice the thought, not try and stop it, just notice it, put it on a leaf and say, God, I just surrender this thought to you. And it's just quite like the activity we did last episode around, Jesus, I give everyone and everything to you. But we do it in the moment. So I surrender the weight of this thought to you. Like practically, this is just an outworking of Philippians 4:7. I'm going to read it to you from the Message, and it says this: don't fret or worry. Instead of worrying, pray. Let your petitions and praises shape your worries into prayers, letting God know your concerns. Before you know it, a sense of God's wholeness, everything coming together for good, will come and settle you down. It's wonderful what happens when Christ displaces worry at the center of your life. So to this week's practice is just noticing the thought, surrendering the thought, and then just use the meditation and mindfulness practices that we learned in episode 6 and 7, I think it was, where we just talked about filling your mind with good things. Okay, I've surrendered that thought. Now, rather than letting my mind go blank, I'm going to fill my mind with good things. So maybe 2 Timothy 1:7, God has not given me a spirit of fear. So I have this fear about exam. I surrender that thought and I say, God has not given me a spirit of fear. And I start to fill my mind with good thoughts. Really looking forward to seeing how you guys go with this practice. And I can't wait till next week when we talk about some more daytime releasing worry strategies. It's going to be awesome.